Hi guys, my name is Erin. I'm so stoked to meet you. I am here to guide you through absolutely everything, setting up your profile and getting started on the site. So we are going to dive right in. I am assuming if you are watching this video, you have probably already logged on to curatedcare.com. You've clicked become a kid expert and you've started the sign up process. If you haven't, you should do that. Okay, so first things first is you're going to set up your profile and we're going to walk through that in 1 second. But first I'm going to show you your dashboard or your homepage. So once you set up your profile, every time you log onto the site, it's going to plop you here. So this is your dashboard or your homepage. Essentially, everything you could possibly need is going to be right here. So I'm going to walk you through everything. Most important, right up at the top, calendar, bookings, and messages. Down here at the bottom, you can find some of the same things, some additional things that we'll walk through, like your families. I'll show you that first. So your families, let me show you. In theory, families fill out a profile just like you guys do. I would say probably 75% of our families are filling out their profiles, and the other 25% are trying to sign up as fast as possible and get connected to you guys. But we do know a good bit of information about our families and other people that they've booked. So if somebody reaches out to you and they don't have any information, you can always reach out to us and say, hey, what's the deal with random so-and-so? And we can share a little bit of information so you can decide if you want to get connected and take their booking. Let me see if I can find a great example profile on Jorge's profile. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so this is my profile. I can show you this. This is my little goober. So a family's profile will look just like this. You can see how many bookings they've done. Kid experts can rate families just like families can rate kid experts. So usually if a family has 5 stars, they're lovely and normal. You should be able to scroll down and see additional photos, a bit about their family, any allergy information, stuff they like to do, pictures or ages of their kiddos, and if they have pets. So for your families, how you acquire these families, on your profile, families can do one of 3 things. There's a button to send you a booking request, there's a button to send you a message, and there's a button to add you to their team. So we really advocate to our families to build a nice, huge team on Curated Care. We really believe less in finding one human being, and that's the one person you want around your child, and more working with a team of really awesome people, because we believe exposing your child to tons of different interesting people and tons of different interesting experiences is totally worthwhile. But we also find that flexibility of having families work with multiple people is something that's really important to our kid experts. Usually for our kid experts, this is one of 5 billion things that you're doing. And so you can't always 100% of the time be available to every family that requests you. So working with the team is really advantageous. So if a family adds you to their team or they ever send you a booking or a message, they will automatically be added to your families list here. So the longer you're on the site, this list will get super nice and long. And this is just great if you ever went out of town, you went on tour, you got a different gig or a different job and then came back and your schedule opened up. You would be able to send a message to anybody that you ever worked with, anyone that ever showed interest in you, to say, hey, I'm coming back into town or my schedule's opening up. I would love to come do a session with little so-and-so. So it's just a way to remarket yourself essentially. Most important are right up here. So your calendar. Your calendar kind of looks like a beast, and it sort of is. We tried to make it hourly, just so that you would be able to tick off as accurately as possible the times that you are available, so you would get requests that actually fit your schedule. The site is automatically going to have you update this, prompt you to update this every 7 days. So you'll know you need to do it because this screen will pop up and you'll go, oh, I need to update. Just add the times you're available, scroll down, and then hit update. Most important are messages and bookings. So we'll look at the message center first, which looks like basically every inbox you've ever seen in your whole entire life. I will say that our families are really lovely. Our kid experts are really lovely. All that being said, we do strongly encourage families and kid experts to keep your correspondence on the message center as much as possible, just as one extra level of safety and security to have this one central hub where everybody's chatting. Very similar to Airbnb, actually. This is also super helpful for ticky-tacky money stuff. So you'll see when you make your profile, you're going to set your main kind of standard hourly rate. And 9 times out of 10, when you get booked, that is what it is. But you will have a spot at the bottom of your profile for additional rate information. So let's say you charge more for 3 or more kids, or you charge a much higher rate for a proper like 1 hour guitar lesson or something super specialized. If a family books you and it dips into those additional price points, definitely do yourself a solid. Just err on the side of caution and reiterate that when you're first connecting. Send them a message, and I'll show you this in a minute, to say, I'm so stoked to get connected. Just making sure you saw, per my profile, I charge an additional yada, yada, yada for 3 or more kids. Always get that in writing and get on the same page. And so that way there's no weirdness when you go to send them the invoice after the session. So even more important than messaging is booking, because that's how you get connected with families and that's how you make money. So exactly what it looks like here. Pending bookings. These are bookings that a family has just sent you, that you haven't confirmed or declined. Confirmed bookings are the ones that you've confirmed and you have coming up. So for pending bookings, let's say it was a brand new one, I just sent this one, you would be able to see the family's information. You could click their profile if they were new to you. You could see any message that they included in the request, the date and time. If everything looks great, seems like a fit, you could confirm the booking. If it doesn't fit, you can hit decline booking. It is totally fine to decline a booking anytime. If you hit decline booking, it's going to send you to the message center. You should definitely send a message to say like, oh, bummer, I'm booked, but I'm usually available on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9 to 5. I would definitely give them your availability just so that you don't totally lose that booking and that connection, and you guys can hopefully work something out in the future. Similarly, if it's a fit and you hit confirm booking, definitely plan to send the family a message to say like, yay, I'm so excited. I'd love to learn more about your kiddos, any routine information that you can give me. And also let them know the types of activities that you can do and the types of materials that you plan on bringing. Definitely be proactive, ask them questions, reach out to say hello, and definitely suggest activities. Don't wait for them to request. Let them know the stuff that you're going to be doing. So then after a session, let's go to our confirmed bookings. Once the date and time passes, you'll be able to click on your confirmed booking. So let's say you just walked out of your booking. Now you can send this invoice. You'll be able to scroll down. You can adjust all these. So let's say you stayed later. You can tweak the hours. Let's say the family said, why don't you take an Uber home from school? We'll reimburse you. You can put that here. You can recap all the awesome stuff you did in your session. And there would be a button down here that says send invoice. You'd hit send. They would pay. It's all direct deposit. So once they pay, it takes about 2 to 3 business days for it to go into your account. So something for you to keep in mind while you're kind of setting your hourly rates is that we don't charge any sort of recurring subscription fees for either side, for families or for kid experts. But there is a service fee on every invoice that you're going to see every time that covers the online payment and continued use of the platform. It's really low. It's 3.9% or a $3.80 minimum. So again, it's low, but it's something for you to be aware of as you're setting your hourly rates to build that into your price point so it financially makes sense for you. So that is Dashboard 101. Most importantly, let's look at a profile. And the wonderful Jorge has allowed us to use his profile as a little example template here. So view profile. All right, for your profile, it is essentially like filling out every online profile you've ever filled out before. You're going to pick your lovely profile picture. The site will automatically display your first name and last initial. We don't give out last names until you're connected and booking with a family. You should come up with a fun title here that either has buzzwords of things that you want to put out there that are going to separate you, Spanish or art or skateboarding or dance or whatever it is, or something kind of catchy and eye-catching like this, Toddler Takeover. All of these guys I'll explain a bit more in a minute in regards to your interview and your background and your reference check. Photos. So you can add tons of photos, and you should totally add tons of photos. I would even add more than Jorge has here. For your photos, if you have photos of you with kids, that is like top tier, the best. Understandably, a lot of people don't have photos of them with random children. But if you have photos of you with nieces and nephews, family, friends that you know you can use classroom photos, you teaching. You just have to make sure for those types of photos that you have permission to use them. Outside of that, if you have photos that sort of tip their hat of the type of activities and experiences you can offer, that's awesome. Outside of that, extra headshots are great. Performance pictures are great. Cool travel pictures from your Instagram are great. I think the more family sees you, the more they fall in love with you and think you're awesome and want to book you. The rest is really self-explanatory. It's essentially filling out a bio, why you love working with kids, stuff you like to do during sessions, things you like to bring, education information, work experience, and way at the bottom is the additional rate information. I would totally use this real estate to think about those price points of what you would offer. If you want to offer something, add an additional price point. But again, just assume a family hasn't read this, err on the side of caution, just recap it every single time just to make things super easy. So this is your profile. So what I would love for you guys to do, in regards to rate, I should let you know. In regards to rate, your hourly rate is so totally up to you. You can charge whatever it is that you would like to charge. All we can tell you is what other kid experts are charging and what other families are booking. So usually kid experts for activity-based childcare are charging between $20 to $25 an hour. Now, obviously, that's very dependent on what you've previously charged, your experience, the type of activities that you're doing, all that good stuff. It can be a little harder to get your very first bookings because you won't have any bookings listed on your profile. You won't have any ratings or reviews. So usually what we advise kid experts when you're first getting started is to set your hourly rate around 20, just because it's a palatable number to usually every family. It gives you a chance to start getting connected, get some bookings listed on your profile, get some ratings, get some reviews, and then you can start to raise your rate. But again, that's totally up to you. So what I would love for you guys to do is go ahead and start setting up your profile. Add your pictures, pick your profile pic, get everything beautiful and good to go. You will see right here 2 buttons if you're just getting started. One says activate your account and one says verify your phone number. You can verify your phone number, and you should. We don't have an app yet, but the site is super mobile friendly. So if a family sends you a booking or a message, you're going to get a text alert that says like, hey, so-and-so is trying to book you. It'll have a link to the site and you'll just hop onto the site on your phone. So make sure you do that. The only thing that you should not do when you're setting up your profile is activate your account. When you click that, it'll say activate your account, pay $35. There's a one-time $35 fee to cover your background check and your reference checks and set your profile live on the site. We would rather you hold off on that, get everything else good to go, so you can make sure it's a great fit for you. We can make sure you're a great fit for us and our platform, that we have families for you. And we also want to get your references in and your background check in, and schedule a time for an interview before you do that. So hold off on that, but you can do everything else. Set up your direct deposit, verify your number, set up your beautiful profile, and then after that, shoot me an email with your resume, a bit about your kiddo experience, some activities you'd like to do, and we will walk you through next steps. So I think it will all make sense when you're going through it, but if you have any questions in the meantime while you are setting up your profile, you can always shoot us an email, and we'll be in touch. So we're looking forward to seeing your profile and getting you started. Peace. Good morning, guys. I literally woke up this morning and realized that I forgot to tell you some super important stuff. So here we go. A little babysitting 101. And bear with me if this all totally goes without saying, but I think that New York City families are a breed unto themselves, so it doesn't hurt to say it. So first things first, whenever you go to somebody's home for a session, a babysitting session, an at-home class, always take your shoes off. I grew up in Virginia and we never went to somebody's house and all took our shoes off. So I think it's a little crazy. But New Yorkers, a lot of them do that. And I understand New York is gross. When you have kids, you become a germaphobe. I have one of those, I understand. But I think if it's one of those things where if you didn't grow up doing it and it's not muscle memory, you will totally forget. So I will say it a trillion more times, always take your shoes off. Just remind yourself 1,000 times. The second is just to be hyper clean. So right when you first come in, take your shoes off, and then you should always go to wash your hands. Ask where to put your things. Again, just be super clean and neat and tidy. Again, so goes without saying, but plan to arrive a few minutes early. It's just like a guarantee that something weird is gonna happen to your train, and it's already a little stressful meeting a family for the first time. So just build in a couple minutes of chill time. Then in regards to cleanliness, definitely pay attention to the state of the apartment. You're not gonna be in charge of things like laundry or running errands, things like that, but you should keep the apartment neat and tidy. If you guys pull out any toys, put everything away. If you dirty any dishes, you should wash them or put them in the dishwasher. The kids dirty any dishes, any activities that you brought, any art materials, anything like that, make sure everything's put away. So literally just like stage the apartment before the family comes back home. And the last is in regards to electronics. So I would just plan to avoid them regardless. I wouldn't have the TV on, I wouldn't have a movie on, I wouldn't have an iPad on, nothing like that. But in regards to your phone, obviously you shouldn't be on your phone during a session, but we all have such great cameras on our phones at this point that if the opportunity presents itself that you can grab some photos or videos during your session of you and that kiddo doing cool stuff, you should totally, totally do it. It becomes your number one marketing tool. Just because I think when you explain to a family what you did during your session, they're like, oh, that's cool, great. And then even if you recap it in your invoice, they're like, oh, okay, that sounds great. But when they can visually see it, it just makes such an impact and such a difference. And if that family's really cool and you have a great relationship, you can always ask them, hey, this photo's awesome. Would you mind if I put this on my profile? Or you can ask to share it with us, and then we can share that photo and give you a shout out on Instagram or Facebook or in an email marketing campaign. So it's literally a way to gather marketing materials. Okay, that's it. Babysitting 101. Don't forget it. Super important. Bye, guys.